And welcome to a special pregame opening day game episode of NYMLB Talk. And if you're on YouTube right now, hit that sub button. We would really appreciate it. Remember, you can follow us on TikTok and on Twitter at NYMLB Talk, Rob at Armaraska, myself at CP7NY. So, Rob, we finally made it. Opening day or opening night tonight, at least for one game.
Yeah, well, finally, I'll tell you, it takes a long time to get here, but then it does get here. So it's good. Baseball season is back. The games count, and I couldn't be happier. But what do you think before we get into the Yankees and everything? What do you think about this opening night stuff now? A lot of people are complaining, saying that opening day should be opening day in the day. So what do you think, Chris?
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of a purist, so I like the days when, I think it was the Reds, right? They always played the first game. They
Yeah.
had the big parade for opening day. They were always at home. I like that, and I miss the days of, you know, all day is opening day, right? You got the early games, then you got the 4 o'clock games, then you got 7 o'clock, and then you got a 10 o'clock game for us. So I miss those days where it was all day baseball for opening day, not opening night where it's one game, one standalone game. So, and it's the streaming game, so that adds to the the disgust by some fans, right? That it's on Netflix and not on regular TV. So that kind of stinks.
Yeah, hey, Nico, how you doing? Thanks for being out there. I agree with you. Tomorrow is opening day, but this is opening night. Matt, how are you?
What's up,
Matt's going to
guys?
be. Hey, listen, Matt's looking forward to his Orioles this year, Chris.
Yeah, the
So
polar bear. Let's see how he does in Baltimore.
yeah,
That's
let's
gonna
see
be
how he
interesting.
does. But it's nice to have you guys out there. And Chris, the Yankees, Giants, first game in San Francisco. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. The team is coming in pretty healthy. No drama, no big injuries. Obviously outside of Rodon and Cole, which we knew going into spring training, but no new injuries. Everybody's healthy, and the biggest drama or the biggest thing that came up was Luis Hill is being sent down to AAA because they don't need a fifth starter right away. So for about a week or two, he's going to be in AAA, which not the end of the world. And I look at it this way. I mean, how many times does your team go into the regular season with like no issues coming in, right? Another thing would be like Dominguez being sent down. I know a lot of the fans wanted him up instead of we had Grichuk as the fourth outfielder.
Yeah.
And we knew Dominguez wasn't going to be the fourth outfielder. It just doesn't make sense. I get it. I want to see the kid up here too, but you know what? He's still got to work on his defense. His offense is going to be fine, but I think he'll be up at some point. It's just a matter of time. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's not going to hit that well, and he's going to force someone's hand, hopefully, him or Spencer Jones. So we'll see. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the season. I'm really looking forward to it. I think the Giants are going to be pretty good too. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but they should be a pretty solid team.
Yeah, I think so too. But before we get into the baseball stuff, who's it's opening night. Who's throwing out the first pitch tonight, Chris?
Well, I know who's bringing out the first pitch, and
Bringing out the first pitch. I meant.
this is interesting, right? This is cousin It is going to be.
No, that's Thing actually.
Oh, Thing, whatever.
Yeah,
I
that
get
that
mixed up.
that's because it's on Netflix, and they're promoting their show Wednesday. So that's who's bringing out the first pitch. So
Yeah,
that's crazy stuff with Netflix. And yeah, Matt, San Francisco new manager.
yeah, from
We'll have to
college, right?
see.
It's a
Yeah.
college guy.
So we'll have to see. The Giants are going to be decent this year, but let's talk about the Yankees and Yankee baseball, Chris. How do you feel about the season? You said you're going into the season with no major problems. Heel is going to start in the minor leagues, okay? And Yankee fans are already going nuts about that. And you're like, why can't they understand what's going on?
I
And why
know
can't they?
I agree. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. I wish I wish the fans would just be like, listen, in 2 weeks we're going to see him. He'll be back up. Would you rather him just sit in the bullpen and not pitch or pitch an inning here or there because they don't need a fifth starter because the schedule is really weird. They have a bunch of off days. They're already off tomorrow after playing tonight. So, it's just weird how many day games they have coming up. So it
Yeah,
I
and
don't know.
Nico's right. It is a great pitching matchup
Well, here's
tonight.
the lineups too. I'll put it up so we could kind of look at them. Uh, and that's the pitching matchup. We got Logan Webb versus Max Fried. Yeah, that's an absolute great pitching matchup. We know how good Logan Webb is, and Fried was great for the Yankees last season, except in the playoffs. But Yankee fans, hey, is someone trying to throw a dig at me since I'm a Jet fan too? It's
Yes,
not good.
he is.
Listen, all fans are like that. There's a group of fans in every fan base that are just I don't know. They just want to complain. And I get it. We haven't won since 2009. So yeah, I'm a little upset too.
Yeah,
What's up, Zach? Yes, jet up. Let's hope
yeah,
so.
definitely. All right, so how do you feel? How do you feel about Max Fried? Do you think he's going to repeat last season? Do you feel comfortable? Do you think he's going to have another? Of course, he had a great season last year.
Yeah, listen, as long as he stays healthy, I'll feel pretty good, right? As long as he could stay healthy and throw what did he throw? 32 starts last year, 31 starts. If he could do
Yeah,
that like he did last year, I'll be very good. I'll be very happy. And listen, in a month, you got Rodon coming back, and maybe a little bit longer, you got to have Cole coming back. So that's a great 1, 2, 3. And then you add in Schlittler as your fourth starter, and then your five is probably going to be Will Warren. I mean, and that pushes probably Hill and Weathers to the bullpen. I mean, yeah, if everybody's healthy, that's a big if, right? That's going to be the big if for every team, but really for the Yankees, right? With the starting rotation, if everybody's healthy, this is going to be probably one of the best, if not the best, rotations in the game. And then it just makes the bullpen better, right? If you got Weathers throwing close to 100 and Hill going, just as hard in the bullpen as well. I mean, that just makes your bullpen that much better, right? So I'm
exactly.
really looking forward to this season. So
Yeah, and you're going to have Bednar for the whole season, right? Which we'll talk about tomorrow. The Mets get.
he's not. Listen, Alonso didn't break him, Rob. So don't worry about it.
Okay, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. We're not
Yes,
going to talk about
yes.
Williams tonight. But yeah, how do you feel about that? You have a full season of Bednar, and that was I think that was one of the best trade deadline pickups last year in all of baseball.
Yeah, I'm with you. He was really good down the stretch. He solidified the back end of the bullpen. Duvall is another key member of the bullpen. If he could be consistent this year, that would be great. If they could lock down the 8th and 9th inning with those guys, then the rest of the bullpen could kind of work its way out, throughout the season. But yeah, to me, those two guys, and I've mentioned that before. To me, those two guys are key for us this season, right? If you could lock down, because we seen last year that first half before we got Bednar, it was you did not feel confident going into the late innings with this Yankee bullpen. And in years past, that was our strength, right? Like that's one
Right.
thing you couldn't say bad about how Cashman built this team was he always built a strong bullpen. And last year, it just wasn't good. Too many guys were not good, whether it was Weaver, Leiter wasn't good. Devin Williams wasn't good. And I was happy when they first got him. I thought that was a great move. But we see what it turned out to not being a good move. It took him so long to kind of get comfortable in New York or whatever the situation is. Hopefully he is for you guys already comfortable in New York. And I think so. I think he'll be fine this year. Just hopefully you guys don't play Alonso and the Orioles too much.
Yeah, well, and I know Matt's out there saying he can't wait to see Alonso get up for the Orioles. You know, he has his
Yes.
what did he has his 2 Alonso jerseys already, right? I think 2, if not
Yes.
more. So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
yeah, he's all set. But so it's Fried, who was 19-5 with a 2.86 ERA last year, and Logan Webb, who was 15-11 with 3.22. So it looks like we're going to have a good pitching matchup, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That shouldn't be the problem. We'll see. How many innings are they going to get? That and Helsley to close it out. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Matt. Now that's a
Good luck.
dig towards
Good
me.
luck with that.
Yeah,
Actually,
good
with
luck.
Helsley closing it up. After Rob and the rest of the Met fans got a close up look at Helsley last year, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with that guy closing games either. But
No, you never know though. But anyway, it's going to be a good pitching matchup.
yeah,
But
I think so. You know, I mean, how many innings are these guys going to go anyway? 5, maybe.
yeah, you're
Right.
right.
I think 5. I would think at the most they're probably on like an 80 to 90 pitch limit. So
And you have Stanton DHing, so healthy Stanton tonight, right?
yeah, at least for now. You know, you don't know how long it's going to be for, but I'll take it. You know, like hey, listen, when he's in the lineup and the way he was hitting in spring training and the way he was hitting last year at when he was healthy, I mean, he was hitting pretty good last year, home run wise. So I'll take that. Stanton this year, as long as he's healthy for the second half of the year and into the playoffs, I'll Stanton's the guy. You know, we know he's on the road to 500 home runs, right? He's
Yeah,
what is he, 40-ish home runs short, and he's
yeah.
got 2 years to do it. I think he will. I think he'll get 500 as long as he stays relatively healthy. You know, I know he's not going to, have play a full season either season, but you know what? If he gets 100 games each season at least, I think he'll get it. You know.
Yeah, I think so too. And Liz, how's everything going? Yeah, not a lot of chances for
Probably
20
not.
game winners.
Those
You
days are
know,
over. Yeah, because you got to remember these guys are getting what 31, 32 starts a season, maybe 33 at the most. So you got to have. I mean, to win 20 games out of 30 starts, that's pretty good, right? I
right.
mean, and you're talking about, they don't make these guys go deep into games as much anymore. So there's more lenient on the bullpen. And listen, how many games do the bullpens do blow during a season, right? So
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah, they do baby pitchers. But you got to remember, Liz, they weren't paying us $450 million to play stickball back
Right.
then. So, that's
School's signing a huge contract next off season. It's probably gonna blow everybody's brains away when he signs it, but it's gonna be like you said, 450 to $500 million, which is
yeah, it's insane. All right, so Chris, let's talk about this year's Yankees and Boone. What do you think happens if the Yankees do not at least make it to the World Series? Do you think that's it for Boone?
I don't know.
What are you thinking?
I think he's got one more year left on his deal. So I think if they don't make the playoffs or if they get knocked out early, yeah, I think they would dump him. But I think there's a good chance of that happening. I want to say they definitely would, because we know they love him. But yeah, I think it would take something like that for them to really think about getting rid of him. So
yeah, and Matt says it'll be business as usual.
most likely.
Probably, most likely.
Unless they, like I said, an extreme situation where they miss the playoffs, yeah, I think he should. I would think he's gone. Or if they get knocked out, like in the first round, if they go to a wild card or something, or first round division series and they get knocked out, yeah, I could see Boone getting canned for that for sure.
Yeah, I could too. Yeah, Cashman will be back.
Most likely.
Most likely, same old story. Unless it goes really, really bad. And speaking of which, Aaron Judge. Listen, he's probably going to have his usual big season. We know that. Judge is Judge. But what about in the postseason? Yankees make it. What in the big moment? We saw what happened in the WBC, the same thing that happens in the postseason. Do you just think he's not a big game player, or is it in his head? What's going on with him?
I listen, at this point, it's definitely in his head, right? Because it's been every year, and now just the pressure just keeps on mounting, right? And like whenever we talk about the good quarterbacks in football not winning a Super Bowl, right? No matter how good they are, or no matter how good or bad their team is, it's always about the quarterback. Unfortunately, Judge is getting that kind of treatment, right? It is a team game, right? And it is more than just Judge
Yeah.
that's not hitting. Or last year, it was, listen, our starting pitching was horrendous last season against Toronto in the regular season and in the playoffs in that divisional series, where Toronto they just had our numbers last year. It was as simple as that. So was it only Judge that, but Judge had a great postseason last year, right? He hit like 500.
He did.
He didn't have the big home run, so he did have the big grand slam. But other than that, a lot of it was singles. But still, the guy hit 500. So I don't want to get on him too much about last season. But at the end of the day, when you're a Yankees superstar, especially the captain, guess what? You need to win a World Series. It's as simple as that. If he was on another team, yeah, the pressure wouldn't be that big, right? If he's on, let's say, Matt's, Baltimore Orioles team, if he goes there and signs a 10-year deal and is named captain and all this, if he doesn't win a championship, right, it's not the end of the world. They wouldn't. I don't think there would be that kind of pressure. But when you're playing for the Yankees with all their history and everybody else winning championships before you, you're the next guy. You got to win a championship. And we don't care that, listen, in the 90s and in early 2000, the Yankees had that financial advantage of being able to sign whoever they wanted and everything else. Now it's the Dodgers. Now it's the Mets that have that financial advantage. The Yankees don't have that over the whole league like they did during that era. Plus, now you got more playoff rounds and all that stuff, right?
Right.
Look, not giving him an excuse, he still has to win a championship. Simple as that.
Yeah, or else it'll just be like Mattingly. Mattingly, everybody loves Mattingly, but Mattingly did not win a World Series, and all Yankee greats have won World Series. All right, yeah. Let's face it.
The difference, Mattingly only had one shot at it.
Yeah, he only had one shot at it, and that's partly, of course, because of Steinbrenner, because he was just spending that money, but he wasn't spending it, smart. He and that's where it was. He just bought, big name player. Let's buy him. And a lot of those teams did not have chemistry. And let's face it, New York was in the mid '80s. New York was Mets town anyway. So.
Yeah, for a few years.
So we'll mention that. But all right, so Alonso is going to have. I mean, not Alonso. Oh God, I'm looking at Matt and I'm saying Alonso. Look at screen. Judge is going to have a Judge season. Alonso, we don't know what Alonso is going to do. Matt, is Alonso going to have a monster season, or is he going to, he signed the contract and put a lot of pressure on him? Who knows? But, the Orioles are going to be better. It's on my brain.
Yes.
You're right.
A lot of Mets fans. Alonso yes. is still in their head, right?
And Dan.
What's up, Dan?
Yeah, I just want to say hello to Dan. And Dan, you did a great job on Monday's show with John D'Acquisto. We enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was great. And Dan's going to come on one day as a guest, as a full-time guest, come on and hang out with us. And I need someone else to talk Yankee baseball. So
yeah, we want Dan to come on because he has 50 years of Yankee baseball or more that he could talk, more than that actually, that he could talk about. So Dan will be on. Liz, yeah, she never liked when Steinbrenner bought the team. Now it's commonplace. He got Reggie, and it was a big deal. Yeah, you're definitely right.
I live 35 and driving 100.
Well, we'll see.
I hope so, right?
Yeah, and Liz is rooting for Pete and the Birds. Hey, there you go, Matt. Someone is going to root for the
As long as they're not,
O's.
I'll root for him too. As long as he's not playing against the Yankees, I'm all for. Baltimore's not a team that I looked at as a, like they are a rival, but not like Boston or now
Yeah.
Toronto, right? Those are the big rivalries. But Baltimore's up there too. Baltimore, we've been talking about it. That's going to be a good team this year.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, Michael, he's rooting for Pete now that he's off of the Mets. That's Michael Simpson. Thanks. Yeah, of course, a Braves. What else is a Braves guy going to say? So, the Braves have their own trouble, which we'll talk about. They got some problems. We'll get into that on some of our shows. All right, Chris, I wanted to ask you about Ben Rice. What do you expect from Ben Rice this season?
Listen, I'm expecting a really good season out of Ben Rice. He looked really good last year, and I would think he's only going to get better from last season, right? I could see 35, 40 home runs from that guy, especially batting behind Judge or Stanton. Like he's in the middle of that lineup now. He's going to be the starting first baseman. It's not a platoon with Goldschmidt. So I think he's going to play the majority of games at first base. You'll probably see him catch a little bit too at times, but he's the starting first baseman. So you're going to see him get a lot of at-bats, and I could definitely see him easily get 35, 40 home runs.
Yeah, you showed the time.
I think so.
The Braves pitching staff.
Yeah, I think they need to, go in a safe place till tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, all right. So I agree with you on Rice. I'm expecting to see big things from Rice. What about Jazz this year? What are your feelings about Jazz?
He said he's going to go 40-40, so
okay.
I guess that's what he's going to do. No, listen, if he matches what he did last season, I'll be happy. He's playing for a contract, so he's got that behind him, right? And he's going to go into next season as one of the top free agents, right? So if he has a big year, he's going to cash in big time because he's under 30 years old, so he could really cash in big time with a big season. So yeah, I expect a 30-30 would be nice. Stay healthy. That's the big thing with him too. Jazz has to stay healthy. Last season he stayed healthy for the most part, but he did miss a few games. But otherwise, you know what? It's about health with that kid.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, let's enjoy this season because we have no idea what's going to happen next season. Okay. We don't know what's going on next season. But, right now, I'm not expecting it to start on time, but we have plenty of time to talk about that. It's opening night. Let's get into it real quick about Netflix. We talked about this before the show. All these streaming, this is just the wave of the future. Streaming, different, one game's on Apple, one game's on Netflix, another game's on Amazon Prime. It's just, it's unfortunate for people who can't afford to have all these services, Chris.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it stinks, for the fans out there. And some fans, whether they could afford it or not, they just don't want to do it, right? You're like, oh, I got to sign up for this. I got to sign up for that. I got to just to watch your team. You know what? Major League Baseball, I get it. They're making a ton of money with the streaming options. So I know it's a money thing. So that's the reason why they're doing it. They're not doing it to screw the average fan. They're just looking to make money. I mean, it's a business, right? We say it. Sports is a business first, no matter what. I just wish they gave you, an option where it's like, okay, listen, if you pay us this much, you'll get every every game for your team, right? So if you want to watch the Yankees and if you live in wherever, here's $150. You can watch every game. It'll be on this channel. Boom. Make it easy just make it easier for the fan to watch it. We don't mind paying, but just make it easier. I think that's what, what you brought up, like it's on this streaming network, this game, and then next game, it's on here, it's on Apple, like Friday nights, Apple, Wednesdays for the Yankees is Amazon. Like it's all over the place. Pay those salaries. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. It's whenever decision is made, it's always about money. It's not about safety. It's not about anything. It's about money. where can we make the most money? Oh, streaming. Okay, let's do it. The gambling, right? We talk about that all the time, and it's all about the money. What happened? Yes, they're going to get. They'll have the majority of the games, I think, on
Yeah,
yes, but unfortunately, there's a bunch of games on Amazon. There's going to be games on Peacock and all these other things, and you need like a roadmap or something to to figure out. Oh, my game is on this channel today, or this. It used to be, we were on two channels back in the day. Yes, and sometimes channel 11. Or you guys, right? It was SNY
yeah.
and one other channel. Now it's everything.
Yeah, and the Mets at least still have some free games on WPIX. Okay, so they're gonna have, I think, 22 games
That's great.
on Channel 11, but the Yankees don't have that. And the Yankees, it's listen, everything got screwed up when the Mets left Channel 9 and the Yankees left Channel 11. Everything got screwed up, right?
Yep.
That's when it really got screwed up. It used to be so much easier. The Mets are on WOR and Sports Channel a couple of games, and the Yankees were on Pix, and then they figured, how could we make more money out of this instead of local broadcasting, and they figured it out, and that's what it is what it is. That's the future in all sports. We talked about that. Football, Amazon has Thursday Night Football, right? It's all the sports. This is just the way it's going to be until they kill the sport, until they get people fed up and say, we don't want to pay anymore. But it's opening night. So tonight, what's your prediction for tonight's game, Chris?
I'm hoping for a win, right? But when when you look at the Giants lineup, it's actually not bad, right?
No,
They're
it's
a
not
pretty
bad.
decent team. And they got a decent pitching rotation, starting rotation, but that's a decent lineup, right? They signed Reyes. He's
Yeah.
going to be leading off. You got Matt Chapman, you got Devers. Devers kills the Yankees. So if you want to bet on anybody, bet on Devers to get like 3 hits tonight, a home run, right? Because that guy kills the Yankees. So bet him on your, bet him tonight to hit a home run or something. You got Adames, Jung Ho Lee, and then you got Ramos, Schmidt, Bailey. All right, you know what? That's a decent lineup.
Hey, Harrison Bader. I like Harrison Bader.
Not bad. Batting ninth, right? He's a good ninth batter.
Yeah, so it's going to be a pretty good game. We want to keep this show till like a half hour because everybody wants to go watch the game. So we got a couple minutes. Let's get our predictions in, Chris. What's yours first for the American League?
Well, of course, I got the Yankees winning the East, right? That's no shocker.
Okay.
I got the Tigers winning the Central, and I'll take the Mariners winning the West. And my wild cards, I wrote them down. I got Boston, Toronto, and Matt's going to kill me, but I also got Kansas City. I have to put in some kind of a surprise in there, right? So Kansas City is my third wild card. I don't believe in 4 teams coming out of the East this year. I think they're going to beat each other up, and one team is just going to get beat up a little bit more.
Okay. All right. So you got that, and then who do you got winning the National League? The American League Championship.
Well, I can't not say the Yankees, right? So I'm going to say the Yankees, and I'll say over Seattle.
Okay, that's good. Now, what I have is, at first I had the Blue Jays, but I don't like their rotation, so I have to switch it, and it kills me. But I'm going to pick the Yankees, Tigers, and Seattle. I actually have picked the same teams as you.
Okay.
And with the wild card, though, Toronto, Boston, and I'm going to say the Orioles, Matt, because I want to see what happened.
Throwing you a bone, Matt. That's nice of Rob. He's throwing you a little bone there.
Throwing you a little bone, and then
he's being nice.
Then I have the Yankees in Seattle. Yeah,
I believe it.
I believe. Yeah, definitely. I have the Yankees beating Seattle in the American League Championship Series. So that's what I have in going to the World Series. As much as it pains me to say, but that's what I have, Chris. So,
well, you don't want Toronto in there again, right?
No, I don't.
Right? You don't want the Dodgers again either. So the Dodgers, I'm giving you a hint. The Dodgers are not my World Series pick for the National League. So
And
the
that,
Swoboda jersey.
hey Matt, you know, if we're going to talk about Svoboda, we're going to have to talk about the '69 World Series where with that catch that killed your Orioles there. So
He really wants an Ed Kranepool jersey.
yeah. Toronto has injury
Yeah.
issues. That's why I
Listen,
didn't
that
pick
was a big thing,
Toronto.
right? Like last season, everything went right for Toronto, right? Everything
Right.
went right health-wise, and then at the end of the year, they were playing their best. They went into the playoffs playing their best. That's what you want to do. But I mean, I think everything went their way.
That's good. Ron Swoboda's been to high school. Yeah, so it's going to be a fun season. Good job, Chris. Dan likes your picks.
Thank you.
Yeah, like me, Liz. I'm not rooting for the Yankees, except it's good for the show and Chris. So, but yeah, you know me with the Mets, of course. And don't dig a hole early. The
Oh,
Orioles,
yeah.
I guess he's talking about.
Or any team can
Yeah,
because,
any
and
team.
that's also too like, we're going to talk about the Mets tomorrow, but
Yeah.
just a little preview, right? Like, look at the Braves with all their injuries already. Like, they're going to
Right.
dig themselves a hole. Two things. Can the Braves dig out of that hole? And number two, can the Phillies or the Mets kind of pull away from them a little bit early on?
I think,
We'll see.
I'll talk about it tomorrow.
Definitely.
So I'll tell you what I think. But thanks, Matt. Anyway, do you have anything else, Chris, to end it?
No, I think, listen, I'm just excited that we're back. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back. Finally after a long winter, especially up here in the Northeast.
Ugh.
It was cold. It was snowy. It was windy. It was everything bad about winter. It was. So I'm happy we'll get baseball back starting today and then tomorrow. Full slate of games, and I can't wait. And remember, like and subscribe to our YouTube page if you can.
Yeah, because we have, thanks, Sully. This is my friend. I used to work with him. Sully, he's a big Yankee fan, big Yankee fan.
We love him, man.
And he just found out about the show today, so I'm glad. Thanks, Sully, for watching. But listen, guys, a couple things. Tomorrow we have the Mets pregame show at noon. The Mets play 1:10 tomorrow against the Pirates, and then Friday night. Everybody loves him. We have Met Puppet Bill on to give his predictions for the season. And, that's just going to be fun. So we have a lot of good guests and a lot of good shows coming up. And we're going to do another show where you guys come on video and you ask questions to our guests. It worked great with John on Monday, with John D'Acquisto. He loved it. And listen, it's fun when you guys get to talk to a major league player, right? It's fun. So that's it, Chris. I'll see you tomorrow. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy the game on Netflix.